So, since everyone's kind of seen the video for the most part, the biggest thing that we're going to be learning today is just getting hands-on feel for what it's like. I gave it, and we're going to be kind of heavy. So everyone's got 3 bags. Please don't drop them. I want everyone to experience the heaviness, and also it'll be more obvious energy management to understand kind of what's going on. And especially in the Hornet, one thing that's interesting is, let's say you're at corner speed. We'll call it 440 or 450, somewhere in there, and you're bringing the jet around and you got full aft stick, and you start losing some airspeed. As soon as you get to, say, who knows, 370, somewhere in there, 370, and you start getting lower than 370, that jet is going to start standing on its tail, and you're going to be loading up all the alpha, and you're going to get slow extremely fast, because the Hornet, of course, has such a wonderful slow speed handling and characteristics, as well as an awesome flight model and fly-by-wire controls to help keep things nice and clean and keep you right side up, whatever. But you're gonna get slow really fast, and it's going to be pretty it might make you shit your pants.
Are we going to want to avoid that and stay at 400
no,
or above, or what?
No, I mean, basically what you're going to be doing is like in the video you guys saw, is just start creating BFM problems for the other guy. So you're going to be starting at a head-on pass, and so when you do your head-on, boom, fight's on, start cranking and banking and doing what you need to do to get on the other guy's tail. And a lot of this is it's going to be kind of and one of the biggest purposes of today is everyone get out there and do your thing, and then we're going to dissect it in Tacview after an hour or so, or maybe about 40 minutes of flying. I'll chime in and say, all right, how are we all doing? How many engagements have you guys had? And then if as long as everyone's had 3 or 4 kind of engagements, then that'll be good. And then we'll just hop out, talk about, oh, it was really interesting when this happened, and then I'll load up Tacview, and I'll just start cycling through everyone, and we'll just watch it. And then of course, let's say Marbles, you're on my 6, and we're watching Tacview. I can say, all right, I saw you kind of went high there, and you were diving down, and you were really fast. So I just pulled. I broke left, pulled really hard to make sure that you weren't able to pull leads pursuit. And then once I saw you were starting to overrun me or underrun me, or just you're too fast, so you're gonna friggin' overfly me, that I started kind of cranking back around and got on your 6. Just kind of dissecting everything that we're doing. So don't worry about trying to stay at corner speed or anything like that. I mean, that's just something to know. Eventually you guys are gonna get real slow, and just basically be aware of it. So but like in that video, if you're on the defensive, you're just trying to pull and crank as hard as you can to keep him from getting a shot. So one of the biggest things to remember is if you're checking on your 6 and you're turning and you see the guy behind you, and he looks like he's starting to pull lead for a guns shot, then you need to jink. And by jink, you can either, if you're in a right-hand turn, and you can either brake left and pull hard, or brake right and pull hard down. Basically just pulling more than 30 degrees and pulling hard and jinking, because if he's concentrating on lining up a gun shot and he's starting to pull that lead, and all of a sudden you're going in a different direction, and you're going to spend a bunch of energy doing that as well, and suddenly he might not react quick enough. Suddenly he could be having too much energy and then overshoot or something like that. So jinking, knowing when to jink. Don't jink too obviously you can jinx too soon, but if you jink too late, you're dead, of course, or half of your airplane's missing. But So don't worry. You can always jink too soon. If it looks like he's pulling lead, then just go ahead and jink, reassess, jink again, whatever. And it's quick stuff. A lot of times I see people who haven't really been in the air combat scene too long and haven't done a whole lot of dogfighting, and they just keep turning and turning and turning and turning and turning, and maybe they can't find their bad guy. Maybe they're not checking their six far enough. What? Nice.
Okay.
And so go ahead.
Apologies. Real briefly, I haven't done any weapons familiarization or how to select weapons. Is that going to be necessary in this?
It would be nice, but it's not be all end all. Frankie, have you done any weapon stuff, Frank?
I did the tutorial and stuff. I'm familiar with how to switch and lock and use the radar.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to be able to do the dogfight mode and lock someone up so you can have the gun cross and everything, but it's not the most important thing today. That today is basically the maneuvers and learning more air combat shiz. So if eventually you guys are going to get a lot lower. We're starting out at 25,000 feet. It is in the wintertime. Everyone's going to have contrails down until like 12,000 feet, just to make it a little bit easier to see everyone and kind of see what's going on. So that'll be kind of fun. But so you're going to start out in a head-on engagement, and then as soon as you pass, of course, fights on. Try not to do. I mean, and this is all going to be simulated. We're not going to be actually shooting each other down. So yeah, you can lock each other up and get that gun pipper on there, and then obviously just say over the radio, all right, I got you. Fights off, or knock it off, and then go back up to join up on each other's wing. Go back up to altitude and break away from each other and come around doing another head-on pass if you want to, or you can either reselect your aircraft. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it. But even and we're going to be breaking up into 1v1 engagements, so you guys are going to be on your own radio frequency. So if you guys wanted to say, just try things, okay, all right, let's get back up to altitude and let's start out with you on my 6, like a half a mile back, and then get some airspeed, and then just say when you both are ready, all right, fight's on, I'll try and get them off your 6, and then switch it up. This is basically just learning the BFM, learning how the jet handles, cranking it around, doing what you can to get the guy off your 6 or stay on his 6. Another big thing to remember is if you're on someone's 6, then and he's cranking around and everything like crazy, to keep yourself from overshooting, just control that throttle. Just put out that air brake. He's not going to be able to outturn you if you're managing your airspeed in order to stay behind him. So, because if he's cranking and banking and using up a whole lot of energy, you need to make sure you're on top of your throttle movements to not overshoot him. So I mean, there's a whole lot of maneuvers by the book and all of this high yo-yo, low YOLO scissors, whatever. That's something that we'll look at in the Tacview. Like, it looks like this is what you did here, whatever. You're not going to be constantly thinking in your head, I need to do this, because it's just going to be way too fluid than that. Your target's going to be constantly maneuvering too much to be able to even think about what you need to do next. Just basically recognize, just keep glancing at your airspeed, just keep knowing in your head how much energy you have by just obviously glancing back at that airspeed. And if you're getting below 170, you need to start thinking about, oh man, how do I keep myself from losing anymore? Because you'll start being a falling leaf. So we all have 3 bags. You're gonna think, oh my god, this thing is such a fucking slug, but that's gonna be a good learning opportunity, because eventually, say we do a few engagements, and just please do a few engagements with the bags on, and then and at some point I can come over Discord and say, all right, next engagements, drop the bags, and then see how crazily different it handles. So but keep the bags on for start, and just because we're at high altitude, and it's going to be harder to turn, harder to keep up energy. Eventually you'll all get down pretty low. Don't worry about it. We're not going to set a hard deck for ourselves on this first kind of workshop, because that's way too much mental energy for us when we're just learning. So one of the reasons though I want us to do no shooting each other down is because I want it to be more of a learning process and not a gamey process, if that makes sense. You know, if you're thinking, all right, I'm going to shoot him down, you know, you guys might just get a little too crazy and just get the adrenaline gets pumping, and then people get angry. So learning experience, whatever. And
do you pay a lot of attention to angle of attack when you're in a turn?
No, it's mainly you're flying off of your target, or you're flying to avoid getting shot down. So if your target is ahead of you, turning, and you don't have and say you have too much energy, you're too close to him or something, and you're just doing a lag pursuit because you don't have the ability to pull harder to do a lead pursuit or something, you know.
Right.
Yeah, angle of attack is not super important. I mean, a glance at the airspeed occasionally, you know, just to keep it in the back of your head or something like that. But you're just going to be flying off of your target, or basically doing whatever you need to do to get the target off of your 6. So. Alrighty, well, any questions? A lot of this is just going to be let's go at it, let's see what happens, and then let's dissect it in Tacview, and I'll try to point out the best that I can what people are doing and what can potentially be done to avoid, you know, overshooting someone or whatever. Eventually, it takes a long time to just get ingrained in your head, but someone's clicking their mic a bunch in SRS here. All right, so is everyone in the server? Who's not?
Fletcher's in. Yeah, we got 6 people in here right now.
Cool. Alrighty. So obviously all the jets are numbered, so that's what frequency you guys are going to be using as well. So com 1, everyone can just probably mute com 2, because I think the presets are the same, aren't they, between the two radios? I'm not sure, but
yeah, they are.
Someone's clicking their mic. Okay, so Moldy and Tyrant. Moldy go blue 1, Tyrant red 1. And Fletcher blue 2, Squinkies red 2, and Marbles blue 3, Frank red 3. And I'm going to be flying against AI since we don't have even numbers at the moment. And plus I'll just be kind of...
Should I not have hit fly?
I mean, probably not, because you'll just be flying around. We can all hit...
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We can all hit fly at the same time. But so that way you're not like super close. You should have some time to get in, kind of get some stuff set up, try to stay at 25,000 feet and whatnot. But what's that, Marbles?
Real quick, will there be different encryption for the blue and red teams? Can we hear each other on the same channel?
Yeah. I don't have team encryption on. And if you can't hear each other, just make sure, just look at your SRS overlay, and make sure your SRS is working. So does everyone know how to change radios on COM 1?
The little knob on the bottom.
Wheel, right?
Yeah, it's the same as in the Harrier, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
You
to
do have to click it to activate it before you can turn it, which is a little weird.
And to mute COM 2,
You could just turn the volume
is there
down.
just volume? Okay.
Yeah, you can just turn
And then
it.
is there like a Unicom in the F-18 or the 3 radios?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you call everybody together?
Oh, I'll just use
Or just-
Discord.
All right.
Yeah. Just to keep it easy. So, yeah, Moldy and Tyrant is COM 1, Channel 1, Fletcher, Squinkies, Channel 2, Marbles and Frank, Channel 3. Any last
Yeah.
questions before we all hit fly?
Nope.
Alrighty, and then if you guys need to get a hold of me or anything like that, just speak up on Discord, and then I can come to your channel, and that's totally fine. Just say Grey Wolf pop up Channel 2 or Channel 3, whatever, in Discord, and then I'll pop to your channel if I'm not getting shot down. Alrighty,
Cool.
3, 2, 1, go. Have fun. Alright, so I'm going up against 2 SC-27s, and so this will be fun.
Check, check. Charlie Lima, Charlie. Is that Moldy? Yeah, red one. This is blue one.
Well, looks like they landed already, so I have to spawn the next group. Alright, there they are. Gonna get some airspeed up. There's 2 of them. So I'm going to decide which one to go for. I'll probably let the first one pass, go for his buddy, and then kind of reassess. Looks like, AI like to do head-on shots a lot, so I'm just going to kind of maneuver. Pull, keeping his gun, keeping him from getting a shot as he flies by. And going for his buddy here. Alright, looks like he's kind of going high a little bit. I'm gonna try and keep my energy up, just keep glancing. So as I keep pulling, you kind of hear the angle of attack really start to kick in. That's when you know maybe sometimes just bump off the stick a little bit. Alright, that guy is going straight down. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on him. He's getting back a lot of energy, but I'm staying high, going after his buddy. May have to jink him here.
Frank, 6 marbles here. You got me on Channel 3 on COM 1?
Negative. I'm on Channel 3, but I don't hear you.
Is everyone able to hear each other?
Yeah, we're talking on comms.
Okay.
Me and Fletcher are good.
Alright, so I'm getting really slow, so that's dangerous.
So I'll rotate the knob to number 3, correct? It should be 265.00.
Getting real slow.
Yeah, that's correct. That's what I got on mine.
So are they. He's got some good airspeed. They're both kind of recovering. Alright, I'm recovering back up to 240. But as he's higher than me, I'm going to have to come back up to him, so... Alright, what's he doing? He's leveling out. Interesting.
You have your transmit light lighting up on that correct radio, Frankie?
Alright. Gonna just pull some lag pursuit here. As he starts coming around now, I'm gonna pull harder to get more on a 6. That other one's more aggressive than this guy. As I start to have to pull to get altitude here, I'm gonna have to really lighten up my G load on the stick so I don't use up all my airspeed as I'm ascending. Alright, where's the buddy? Alright, let's see if we can get a shot here. Couldn't quite pull hard enough there with all my weight. Oh.
What does it read on your SRS as far as the radio, top radio? What's the freak?
I got 265 AM.
For some reason, it's not reading 265 on the top radio.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's figure out where his buddy is. Let's get our airspeed back. All right. It's on my 6 somewhere.
All right, no big deal. Can you punch in a manual channel on this radio? Okay, manual frequency.
How about I just move you guys?
Good deal. We'll just use the Discord instead.
If you guys are able to alt-tab, I'm in the process of getting shot at, so.
All right, stand by.
Just move you guys self to flight 1. Alright, so I'm going to try and keep him on my 6 here and just demonstrate the sort of jinking. So I'm going to flatten out my turn here, get him back on my 6. Lost him. I was distracted in Discord. All right, there he is. So he's starting to pull lead on me. So there's a jink. He's pulling some far shots. He's gonna pull lead again. Here's a jink. Here's another jink. So this whole time, I'm loading up on the alpha, and he's gonna overshoot. All right, back full throttle. Unloading the aircraft. Now I'm on a 6.
Altitude.
So he's not going burner now. I don't know why. Probably because it's AI. I got a lot of airspeed now. 420. Getting back the altitude. He's back in burners. Now he's kind of pulling a bit of a jink. I thought he was going to pull harder than that. So notice I'm not cranking like crazy to get my nose on a lead pursuit here. I'm just keeping my energy. This is the energy management that I was talking about and that the video was talking about. And he's got a lot more thrust and he's a lot lighter than me, so I'm not going to be able to go up and get him. But just going to kind of keep lagging and controlling the fight with my throttle. So, I'm still pulling lag here. Trying to close the distance. Alright, he's starting to crank. I'm going to start cranking a bit more here, pulling a lead for a gunshot. Backing off the throttle to not overshoot, backing way off the throttle, not overshoot. And of course, bang, 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 bang. Alright. Let's simulate an overshoot. Oh shit, I overshot him. He's coming in. Oh! Keep him from pulling lead. Just do whatever you can to keep him from pulling lead. So he's kind of going into a lag pursuit here. I'm going to keep the airspeed up. As long as you can keep him from pulling lead for a gun's kill. So he's pulling lead. He might take a far shot even though he's really far away. I'm just going to do what I can. Jink, back off the throttle a little bit. Jink again. More jink.
Altitude. Altitude.
So he's having to unload and do all kinds of craziness. This whole time, I'm backing off the throttle. I could see that he's in burner. Oh, this could be a... That's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Altitude.
We almost came onto a head-on attack or a head-on maneuver, and he would have been able to possibly guns me. So even though I have full bags, I'm not letting my airspeed get too low. Kind of pull a reversal there and kind of get on a 6. But this is going straight into vertical is obviously very dangerous. You're going to lose a lot of airspeed quickly. So thankfully he's coming back down, and I can just stay on his 6, just lagging behind him, lag pursuit behind him, keeping my gun cross behind him is the lag pursuit. All right, and then of course, let's pull to a gunshot. Boom. Okay, let's get some altitude. I still got 11,000 pounds of gas. And let's spawn another wave. They're gonna be coming straight down on top of me, pretty much. Alright. Hopefully they see me. There was a first wave, but they went and landed because I was too busy yapping my trap with the mission unpaused. There they are. Alright, so this is obviously bad. There looks like they might be turning to engage me, and I am lower than them, so they're going to have a lot more energy than me. Turn to engage, full throttle. Try not to turn too hard to lose my energy. If I were to turn on the lead guy, then his buddy would just immediately get me. So, oh, he's coming down pretty hard and fast. He's going to have a lot of energy to keep into the turn, to keep into the fight. So I'm going to have to watch in. This guy's going to do a head-on. He's going to try to shoot me in a head-on. There we go. All right. So that guy is behind me. I'm going to get my energy back because I was climbing. And they're going to have to watch for the guns shot. I'm going to jink. Ooh, he's... Oh, there it is. I don't have enough. I was already pulling too hard. I was already pulling full aft stick, so I didn't have any jink. I couldn't jink in my same plane. A lot of times, you know, if you're doing a turn, that's more with ground fire, though. I'm gonna have to deal with this guy and get him off my 6. Oh, and then I'm dead. Man, they really snipe far. They don't have very many tracers like ours is. Let's find him here. There's my dead plane falling. So now I'm higher than them, and I have a lot more potential energy here. Shot my pilot out. All right, where's his buddy? Pretend AWACS mode. All right, so he's coming straight for me. I'm going to stay high and go after his buddy. Yes, they did, Namco. They fell right off. There he is. Well, it's gonna take him a while to climb up here, potentially, so I'm going to deal with this guy up here. All right, he's starting to mark. Oh, he's leaving his 6 wide open. Maybe I'll just go down.
Are you in kill range yet?
and grab him.
I'll know when I'm supposed to be fucking jinking.
You're on, oh, never mind, sorry. I'm on the wrong frequency. Alright, now let's recommit. Alright, so that guy went low. We'll take that guy there. We just ended his split S. I'm going real fast here. And full F stick. Got way too much energy. That guy's cranking around. Might potentially try and get a snipe shot. Since I have so much energy, I'm going to try to get higher. Keep my energy and get some altitude and start doing a turn here. They are too far for a gun's kill. Unless they try to snipe me like before. Holy cow. Silly Russian snipers. Did not think that the gush... Oh, he just... Oh, no, he's marking. I thought he just hit the C. Okay. He's got a lot of energy. He's not able to keep with the turn. I'm using up a lot of energy. My airspeed is real slow. So I'm going to try and gain that back and just keep turning, keep in the turn fight. Get back that energy. He's probably turning it as hard as he can. He's burners in. Alright. Let's keep him from... Oh, hi! Oh, he's about to lose all his. Well... A great example of energy management. What the fuck is going on with the contrails? I'm going to switch targets here. That guy... Ooh, I need to get my airspeed back up because that guy's going to be coming in for a gun's kill. And I'm not going to have enough energy to jink. So, alright. Energy's coming back up. I'm going to flatten out. Oh... Okay. Keeping on him. Made it hard for myself by putting two at the same time, of course. But just as I was wanting to try to showcase some jinx and whatnot. Are they both down here? They are. Alright. Backing off the throttle. I don't want to get too much energy because this guy's really slow and I don't want to overshoot. Controlling the throttle.
Altitude.
Alright. Don't think I can follow him into that vertical. Don't know where the other guy is.
Altitude. Altitude.
So let's get our energy back. There he is. Ooh, let's pull harder. So he was already pulling damn near as hard as he could. He lost all his energy. He had to unload. That was a quick try for a snapshot. Check my 6. Do I have enough energy? Oh, he's going to be pulling straight back down on me here. Alright, let's get some of that energy back. Terrified of where the other guy is. Unload. Get some energy. I respawned and I'm super freaking heavy. Alright, there he is. There's this buddy. Just hanging out. Try and get one of these guys down so I can...
Altitude.
Thank you.
Altitude.
Okay. Where's his buddy? I'm getting a lot of airspeed again. That's good. There he is. Is that him? Yes. No. Is it? Let's get some altitude. There he is. Climbing, got great energy, keeping the airspeed up. It's slowly dropping off, getting some separation. Obviously, if he had missiles, I'd be dead. So if he did have a missile, you know, popping out chaff and flare, getting him on your 3 or 9 and trying to defeat the missile. Alright, so let's start turning. I'm at rough corner speed here. He's pulling for a lead. I'm gonna jink. I'm gonna reverse. And I've got a lot of airspeed. Keep turning. There he is. He's coming back up. Jesus, I got a lot of airspeed. Oh! He fired there. That was a good jink moment. Alright, now I'm backing off the throttle. He's gonna fire. Keeping him
Altitude.
from getting that
Altitude.
gun cross on me. Oh, is this going to be a maneuver kill? He went way low there, so I'm going to try to keep coming off the airspeed. So he's going to come up, he's going to fire. I'm going to jink, reverse. Keep reversing, keep making it hard for him. Oh, he could pull and get me. Oh, Jesus. That was real dangerous because I got wicked slow there. But sometimes that's what's needed if you can recognize that you just need to pull like crazy to keep him from getting a shot, and also that's going to have him overshoot. So is he going to come through the loop here? He is. Going to maintain that energy. I'm not just going to try to pull right around, get that energy back, get closer to corner speed, and keep bringing it around. We're down low. We're in a lot of thick air. It'd be a lot harder if we were higher. Alright. I'm going to control the fight by controlling my throttle. Alright. He's going vertical with a lot of thrust. Keep full throttle. He's coming out of the afterburners. Nope, he's got him back in. I'm slow, but we're at the backside of a loop, so we're going to be regaining it here, so I'm not going to worry about that too much, and I don't have anyone on my 6, so backing off the throttle a bit, just kind of pulling pure pursuit here, keeping my gun crossed right on him, and then of course, I mean, I can get a kill here, so kabam, kablam, blam. Alright, let's come off, get some altitude, and try to get another reversal. Let's get back on my 6.
So right now is when I would.
Alright, he's back on my 6. I'm just going to keep getting some altitude here. Watch for that inevitable snipe. So he's going to be able to outspeed me here, so he's probably closing. Oh, hi. Yeah, that's the sniper kill that killed me before. God, that's so far. Just going to keep jinking. Just keep him, and he's going to overshoot damn near in the vertical. So, you know, if he was a player, he'd probably be able to do some pretty wicked snapshots, but just this is more for instruction, and got him to overshoot, and I am way slow. So, I need to unload my aircraft. So, with him going so high, he could potentially just stay high. He could potentially recognize that I have absolutely no energy whatsoever, and I just completely loaded the shit out of my aircraft, and he could control the fight from the altitude. But he didn't do that because he's an AI. So I was able to keep control of the fight by staying behind his 3-9 line, and now we're going to stay on the 6. And we're high, fairly high in altitude, so turning is a little more difficult. So keeping the energy, managing my energy. Fudgizzy, there he is. He's so. A player would be jinking right now. So a player would be jinking, and at this moment, you know, I'm keeping my gun cross on him. I'm trying to pull to get my gun sight on him, And if he were to jink left and pull hard, then I would have to, oh God, where's he going? And then I could potentially overshoot him. So let's go ahead and get some altitude again, break off the engagement, and then we'll try and get another reversal, and then see what everyone else is doing here. So he kind of used up some energy trying to get back on me. So I'm going to fly away as fast as I can, get some altitude, watch for that eventual super Russian snipe mode. Get back into the cons. Jesus Christ. Alright, fight's on for sure. He's going to overshoot in the vertical. Yep, his air brake's coming out. I don't care because I can see he's overshooting like crazy. Try and get control here. Way slow here. Gonna have to just dive and just try to stay my best on this 3-9 line. Obviously, because I'm so heavy, I pulled way too hard, and he might just come right around and kill me here in the as he comes lower. Oh my God! I think I'm gonna die. Nope, he didn't pull. He didn't keep pulling. So basically, just in your jinx, if you recognize that you have the opportunity to pull really hard to get him to overshoot, that's going to be a good reversal. So what, if he were a player, then he would have seen that he's going to overshoot because I'm just pulling like crazy and got wicked slow. What would a player most likely do, or what would I do? I would just unload my aircraft. If I were him, I would just unload my aircraft.
Okay, Squinks Fletcher, I'm going select roll.
And
Yeah, me too.
and then get distance, get airspeed, get distance, and then turn around and re-engage, or basically unload my aircraft, get a slight amount of distance, and turn and make sure to re-engage
ready
him
when you are.
before he uses up, or before he gains back that energy. So. Because I was way up there, super slow.
I'm back in already.
Okay. Let's get some distance here. We might be able to get a head-on pass or so. Oh no. Okay, let's turn back around. And let's see where he is. There he is. Let's try and get a hit on. Here. Stand. Good speed. Where the hell is he going? Hello, I'm over here. There you go. Is he turning right? Where in the hell are you going? Maybe he's out of fuel. Yeah. He's gonna go join his buddies. Well, that's all the AI I had in here. So we will check. Oh. Check on the others, what the others are doing. You gonna shoot me? You could shoot me
All
right
right,
now.
Fletcher. Sorry, I'm
Shoot me. Shoot me. I'm surprised he's not even trying to change course. Is he gonna fly right into me? Maybe. I know, I'm just having fun. It's important to have fun. What was that? I used up that much gas? Holy moly. There's no point in keeping the bags on. But, okay, let's start flying and do some F2 action on the others. And see what's going on. Let's come down to channel 1. I think that's going to be Tyrant and Moldy.
You back up on comms? Yeah. Okay. Pass each other.
Alright, let's see what they're doing here. Lights on.
Lights on. Are you tracking me with your eye every time? Yes. You turn. Mark one eyeball. Affirm. Okay, I'm pulling up on you right now. Yep, we're head on. Gun. Yep, same thing. Oh! Oh, I have my bag. You took your bags off? Yeah, when I respond. Okay, I still have mine.
Tyrant, drop your bags and let's keep the fight on. Alright, Tyrant, he's on your 6, coming down.
Bags are off. 5,500 feet. Gun.
Yeah, he was pulling lead there, so that would have been a good time to jink towards the ground.
Got me while I was distracted with my bag. How dare you?
Alright, let's keep the fight on. So, Tyrant, he's in front of you on your nose, higher.
Firm.
Let's keep the fight on. Moldy, you're gonna have to shake him.
Alright.
Uh-oh, Moldy, you got one on your 6. So, Tyrant, keep the lag pursuit going. Don't try to worry about pulling the lead.
The vent gun's right there.
Let's keep the pipper on him for at least 1 or 2 seconds for proper gun skill. Keep going, keep going. When you're on his 6, just keep lag until you know you can pull to have a shot. Nice reversal, Multi.
My airspeed sucks.
Yep, so you're just gonna have to keep going lag pursuit. Don't worry about pulling lead. Just keep the lag going. Get your airspeed back. So because Tyrant knows that you're slow, he's getting some distance. He's getting his energy back.
I'm on a 6 now.
Now stay in the lag. Point your nose down. Don't keep trying to pull lead for a shot, because then you'll risk yourself overshooting. There you go. And now start pulling in. There you go.
Lock.
All right. So now you start pulling to the lead. Tyrant, he's pulling the lead. What are you gonna do? Just do whatever you can to get that gun cross off you. Alright, you guys are going real fast. So Tyrant, what are you going to do to get him off your 6? Keep bringing the throttle back a little bit. And keep jinking. You're going to be using up all that airspeed, but since he's just got guns left, as long as you keep jinking, you know he can't get a shot unless he's lucky. Tyrant, he's pulling lead.
I'm going back to lag.
Roger. Oh, maneuver kill. Look out, Moldy. Is he going to pull out of it? Oh, he does.
Gun. Good.
Alrighty. Knock it off. I'm going to change frequencies. Have fun, guys. Who's on number 2?
You, my friend, are pulling some alpha.
Yes. I have no airspeed. It's over. I gotta unload or else terrible things. And to keep my eyes on you, I literally had to leave my head outside the cockpit. That looked like a good opportunity. Yeah, it did. You wanna knock it off and try again? Or we can do this?
I'm joining you guys for at least one engagement here, quick.
Okay, wait. Come on in. Okay, I got a visual screen view, so I'm gonna go ahead and start climbing for ambulance. Copy that.
I'm not physically there. I'm just listening in and F2ing you guys.
I'm very disappointed. So I actually shot him down for real. We grabbed new jets and I discovered that that fucking master arm is automatically on. I didn't even look at it. I forgot to put it in sim mode. Oh, his snapshot was good. I really wish we had, you know, an actual Acme pod capability, because there's been a couple times I've called guns and I think it would have worked, but you know, you're not really sure. Yeah. Okay, making a left turn just to get on 180. And I'm ready to brake if you are. Yep. Okay, I'll go 270. Rolling up. Sorry, Gray, dived in right at the conclusion of the last engagement.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, just keep your speed, keep your altitude, and then turn back towards each other and fight's on, and I'll just kind of give some pointers here and there.
Like I'm not gonna hear you yelling, shoot him! Shoot him! Alright, you ready? We're ready. Alright, breaking back in. Okay, got your visual, sights on us, merge. 8 bird.
Alright, you've identified him as an enemy. Holy shit, fight's on.
Fight's on.
Careful about pulling too hard at that altitude, Fletcher. Unload, unload. Keep rolling right, Fletcher. Keep rolling right. Keep rolling right, not pulling. Alright, get ready to jink, Fletcher. He might try to do a head-on gun pass, so rank left and jink, and then roll immediately right. There you go. And don't pull too hard. Keep the energy up. Alright, pull down. There you go. Now he's at your 11. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Hey, he's the last person to get pissed. He kicked my ass like every time but once. But I mean, probably both could use tips. I'm joking. Okay.
Alright, so as Fletcher starts pulling lead, there you go, good jink. As he starts pulling lead, that means that he's going to be getting the gun cross on you. So if you keep jinking, there you go. Now, in order to get a reversal, Swinkies, as you keep jinking, just start backing off from the throttle. And you could probably overshoot. So, as he's close like this, you losing, Fletcher?
Freeze, well played.
Alright, so keep fights on. You lost each other. Keep going.
Nah, I got visual him.
You got him, Fletcher?
Negatory.
Alright, so you don't see him. Make sure you recover your energy. You're getting real slow.
You low, shit, you are right. Trigger down. That would have been bad. Trigger down, trigger down. I think that would have been... That first one definitely didn't get you, but the second one definitely did. I almost fucking flew right up your asshole. Like, I was at almost 600 knots. I'm getting... We're at 200? Well, lower than that on this fleet raise, right? I should have throttled back in. I didn't.
Okay, once you guys...
Eye-watering how fast you got big in my HUD. I really had to brake hard. Alright, hey, I'm on your 6. If you want to climb up, we can do another one. Okay, let's do it.
Alrighty, next one you guys do if you want to, drop the bags. So I'm going to change frequencies and get the next engagement here.
Copy. See ya.
Later. Jesus, I passed over the frickin' mountains.
Huh, my
My selected jet is not working. Clearly means I don't know how to do it.
Where's my Discord? There it is.
What wasn't it doing? So I selected center, left outer, oh, maybe.
What in the fuck? Are you guys in sim?
I am. We had a head-on collision, and I'm currently just watching you guys. I learn better that way.
Marbles, where are you at?
Same place.
All right.
Basically in hell.
I can select. What channel were you guys? 3?
We
Yeah.
were 3, but we couldn't.
I don't know how to work my damn radios. Apparently, I don't know. I suck.
Marbles, you want to do one? You and me?
Actually, I think I'm gonna take a break.
You sure? Did you guys get any engagements in?
Oh
yeah.
God, yeah, like
Okay.
6, 7.
Great, I'll
maybe?
go against you.
Alrighty. Let's
how-
see.
I'm curious
How
about the
quick?
Tacview. How long do you think till we start doing an AAR?
Just another 10-15 minutes or so.
Sweet. Yeah, that was a hell of a lot of fun.
It
But
was.
I got to finish my unwitch here.
Okay.
And I'll be listening for comms for when we're ready.
Okay. All right, Frank. I'm gonna pick. Let's just go ahead and pick 4. Just I'll do blue 4. You do red 4. And all right, let's spawn in.
Thank you, Frankie. That was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
What's your airspeed? 640, 650, climbing.
Alrighty. Got your cons up ahead, Frank. So I'm gonna get some airspeed
I see you.
and get to at least 350 or so, and then we'll go ahead and fights on. Alrighty, fights on.
Let's do it.
Alright, I'm unloading my aircraft, making sure I'm not pulling too much alpha. I'm going to try to pull behind him here and stay on his 3-9 line. Oh, he's going to get a gunshot, maybe. So I am wicked slow, but he is as well. I'm just going to keep loading up that alpha to make sure he doesn't keep bringing his nose up. Gonna start unloading a bit more. Oh, he's doing good. Good job, Frank. Nice one.
Yeah, that was tough.
I think that was probably a snapshot on you. You think you probably got me with a snapshot?
Nah, I mean, like, what do you mean snapshot? Like missiles?
No, just guns. Maybe. Did you think you pulled the cross
Nah, I
on
didn't
me?
have anything like
Okay.
that.
All right,
Nah.
let's keep going here. Still got me?
Yeah, I still got you.
All right. Gonna roll to make sure that he doesn't get his gun cross on me. Got some distance here. Gonna keep the try and keep the airspeed as best as I can. Holy cow! These ain't no SE-27s. slow? Might be getting a little too slow. Oh, shit.
I got you there.
Nice. So, I wasn't too slow, but he was able to keep the distance on me and just keep pulling lead because this Hornet has, of course, got some extreme alpha. All right, let's head on back up. My speed's about 320 or so.
All right. Go opposite of each other, right?
Yeah, let's get some altitude first. Let's get back in the cons.
Right on.
Speed passing 370. Just climbing here, 10 degrees. I'll come join on you, and then we'll break away from each other once we get to a good altitude.
Sounds good. What's your speed? You don't need to slow down?
No,
Yeah.
I'll just join on you. Just keep climbing. Okay. You can do 10, 15 degrees climb or so, and we'll get back up to 20 or so.
Yeah, I've been practicing landing and the weapon systems because I didn't want to show up, you know?
Cool, yeah.
I didn't know what was involved.
What's your speed?
380, 370 now.
Okay, yeah, you can come out of burner and stay around 370, and we'll just go ahead and use this altitude. Let's keep this altitude. I'll catch up a little bit more here. Call it 24. All right, I'm gonna brake right, and we'll just do a 40-degree level turn. You can brake left, and then we'll do fights on. All right, let's keep coming around. You got me? Let's do it.
I got you. I'm gonna go offset a little bit because I don't want to crash into you like last time.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh, come on, that never happens.
Fights on. Get my airspeed back here and just start doing lag.
Damn it, I spent too much money.
All right, so unload your aircraft, push down, and get some airspeed. Because I'm in order to stay with you, I'm loaded up as well. So if you took that opportunity when I passed behind you to unload the aircraft, get some airspeed, you can get some separation. So we got
okay.
some separation here. I'm just kind of pulling lag pursuit as you kind of keep turning around. You're cranking a little harder, and I'm going to start pulling lead. And at that moment, I'm starting to pull lead. You're going to want to jink. So like jink hard left and pull hard. Now I'm going to have to react. You're going to want to jink a different way. And this whole time, you're using up airspeed and getting slower, and I'm having to chase the trunk or chase the gun pipper around. And as you keep kind of jinking, now suddenly I can't pull with you, and you can kind of use that opportunity. Now, I got to turn back, and now we're more on the 3-9 line, and I'm having, like a head on there, and now we just passed each other. You could unload your aircraft and get more distance. And
I see that.
And then recommit.
Huh.
Altitude.
So now I'm kind of cranking around. I did get some energy back. So did you. And now I'm trying to pull lag pursuit to assess what you're gonna do. You're gonna kind of keep pulling around here. So I'm starting to pull harder to bring the gun pipper more to a lead pursuit.
Altitude.
Losing a lot of airspeed. Looks like you are as well. You might be a little too slow to jink. Oh, there you go. Good jink. Now, you got really slow. So I can't hold with it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to unload and break away. Of course, I'm going to use the terrain a little bit to my advantage. What's that?
I janked a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But it saved me, I guess.
Yeah, but you kind of see how a well-placed jink can turn the tables and get someone to overrun.
Right on. Marvel's is good at janking. Like, he's pretty good.
Cool. All right. I think I'm going to see. I'll drag us back down, and we'll see what everyone's doing, and then maybe watch the Tacview here. I think we're just over an hour, so.
That was awesome to watch. Frankie just about turned it around when you were on his 3 o'clock just now. When you were recovering energy, Gray.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could have made a slow turn to the right and got you.
I don't know. Everything.
Yeah.
Was
we had essentially kind of decommitted there, but yeah, exactly. Because I would have. At that point I would have said, "Holy shit, I can't stay with this. It's too dangerous, too low," and then I would have unloaded and tried to get airspeed. And yeah, he could have essentially come over and come right, unloaded as well, and started to chase me. Certainly. All right, I'm gonna drag us down there. All right, guys, what do you think? Is it Tacview time?
Hell yeah.
Just about.
Okay, cool.
I literally am yanking on my stick so hard I torqued my stick mount off.
You torqued it off?
I think Tyron
I've
did
got
the same thing.
the Fox mount, and it's held on by friction.
Oh, sure.
I literally pulled it apart.
Well,
no.
trigger down on Fletcher then.
Okay, that was badass. Yes. Okay, Tacview time. I'm dropping out and fixing.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop out too.
Anyone still fighting?
All right,
Yeah, me and Tyron are. But
Okay.
yeah, we're done.
You guys are done?
What were you saying on the radio before it cut off? I said, and I disconnected.
Oh, I said I wasn't doing it head on.
Oh, I thought you said you were.
No. I said give it one turn and then we'll go.
Alrighty, guys. So one thing that I was fighting some SC-27s. One of the things that I learned, because eventually I did a few quick ones with Frank, is holy cow, that freaking Hornet, when you're fighting against it, it is hard to get him off your 6 because he just has so much pointability to just stay on your 6 and just keep pulling alpha and just keeping that gun cross ahead of you. So jinking is quite interesting.
Checks.
Yikes, indeed.
All right, get
I
on.
thought it was actually really good in the slow speed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the trick. We got to get them slow. Can the SU-27s do well in slow speed?
Not as good certainly as the Hornet, but the thrust weight ratio of the SU-27 is pretty cray. So it can regain a lot of speed quickly.
Well, fuck.
I think my server locked up. Uh-oh. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I think my server might have locked up.
Towards the end, or moldy was all over my butt.
Okay, bringing the server down quick. Gonna grab the Tacview. We can go ahead and take a quick 10-minute break or something here real quick, and I'll get the Tacview ready, guys.
All right, we'll talk in a couple.
All right, stream viewers, I am going to get the Tacview ready and get a drink and just take a quick break, so keep with us here. We're going to bring up the Tacview and see how everyone did, and I'll kind of go through a bit of my engagements as well as quick as I can, and get to the other DFA members' engagements, and just try to give some pointers and try and visualize what happened, because Tacview is just a perfect tool for that. So keep it here. I'll be right back.
Has anyone reviewed Chuck's guide yet for the F-18?
Not yet.
All right, I got the Tacview ready to go, but I'm going to grab a drink real quick, and then we'll get started when people are back.
Can't wait. Sarek.
If I pull your Tacview, oh well, I'll just pull Tacview myself.
Alrighty. How we doing, guys? How we doing? Anyone else sweating?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Blast!
I'd like to borrow my came unscrewed from my extension. It was real fun.
What happened? Oh, came unscrewed?
Yeah, I didn't have it tight enough to the right, so when I was on a constant left turn, I was putting pressure to the left, so the stick came unscrewed and was loose in my hand.
Is that why you crashed?
No, that was out of fuel.
Oh God, really? You
Yeah, I
guys,
ran out of
you guys
fuel
are getting pretty light then. Okay. It's amazing how fast you go through 3 bags of gas, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Full burner the whole time will do that, I guess.
I think the replay on the my SC27s, where I'm just talking through things, will be quite beneficial to you guys to kind of help visualize, because I kind of gamed it a little bit. Kind of had them get on my 6 to just showcase how to jank and whatnot, and so let's see. All right, Tacview, I'll be replaying it on my stream here. I'm gonna take down my stick real quick and reset my keyboard here quick. Mr. Fixie Rider. Does it, Squinks? You think so?
Splurge.
All right, Frankie, you back?
Yep.
Fletcher. I see his light lighting up, but his sound, poor Fletcher. Moldy?
Hello?
Marbles?
Yes, sir.
I see Squinks is in the chat, so he's here. Tyrant?
Here.
Is everyone on the stream?
Yes.
Is anyone not on the stream? Fletcher, still sounding like you're muted, bro.
Fletcher, you have the correct audio device selected in your voice settings in Discord.
Thanks, Hoggett. Thanks, Squinks.
Nice.
Either Squinks or Acidic. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Zelly. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm just going to be talking on my stream, so if you have any questions, yeah, just yell at me. And then, but I'm just going to be kind of showcasing. I'm just going to do maybe the first engagement of SC-27s with me, and then I'm going to move right on into how everyone else did. So. Ah, congrats, Zelly, on the wedding. Okay, so the first set of SC-27s, I was yapping my trap too long, and they went and landed. So forgot to set them to patrol. So anyway, we're up at roughly 25,000 feet or so, and with being that there's two of them, I don't try to engage the leader, because if I engage the leader, the wingman is immediately going to engage me. So what I did on the head-on, I didn't want to try to guns him in a head-on fight because it's usually a trade. So I went ahead and kind of broke off the leader, and if he was pulling a lead gun shot, I went and I kind of pulled to essentially get his gun cross, or his line of fire to go below me. So then I kind of recommitted on the other guy and kind of went low to gain some energy, and just looks like he went low as well, and the original leader was high, so I just went ahead and committed towards the high guy. And as he kind of passed below me, his buddy is kind of coming up on my 6, and I kind of see that, I believe, so I gain some energy and try to keep going after the leader here. So he kind of did a reversal to get going more towards the ground to get energy, and I think, yeah, it looks like I was just kind of standing on its tail, just try to stay in spot, because I knew this SC-27 was going to continue to go underneath me here, and so I was just trying my best to control the fight by staying behind my target's 3 and 9 line. So loaded up the plane a little bit, but it was kind of in anticipation of keeping that guy going under me, and then having to regain energy here. I unloaded. So this blue line is my angle of attack, and the green, let's see, what is the green? I don't know what that green is. So really high angle of attack right now. Where are trails? I don't have trails active. I need to put trails on. Where's trails? I thought it was a slider. Where's trails? Trails. Ah, there we go. There we go. I knew it was a slider somewhere. Okay, so we'll keep a little bit of trail here. So, and then I think, yeah, did I switch targets here or not? Yes. No, I kept on the same target. I was just trying to make sense of my trails here. So, cranked it around, and each time I turn, I'm doing a lag pursuit. So, just lagging behind him, pulling a lag pursuit, not worrying about constantly pulling lead. I'll pull lead when I'm ready to take a shot. So now I'm pointing more on him. This is more of a pure pursuit, and he's kind of going high. I can't remember when I took the gun shot here. So he kind of rolled over, regaining some energy. So I'll do the same. I was very careful about constantly pulling lead pursuit, because that's going to load up on alpha, and that's going to get me slow, and that's going to get this other guy here potentially a shot. So there. So here. So he got really slow and loaded up, and then he had to dive to start regaining some energy. So I saw that as an opportunity where I knew he was slow, especially having come into this turn again and going into the vertical. And I kind of used this turn. He went high. He lost a lot of speed there, and I kept a kind of lag pursuit fashion where I was also regaining some speed and just controlling the fight behind him, controlling that fight with my throttle, and just staying behind him. So notice here, I'm pulling a lag pursuit. So my nose is behind him, and there you see it, boom. That pointability of the Hornet, I go to a lead pursuit. So there's lag. He's high, he's slow. All right, I know I can kill him. I'm going to pull a lead pursuit now and get my gun cross on him and start shooting the piss out of him. So, missed. He might have had a little bit of a jink there. And, well, I missed. I don't want to keep loading up the aircraft. I don't want to keep lead pursuit on him, because I fired, I missed, and I don't know. I'm focusing on my target here. I don't know where his buddy is, so I'm not going to keep loading up my aircraft. So I'm going to go back into a pure pursuit. And notice pulling the lead pursuit here. Pulling lead pursuit loaded up my aircraft so much here that I'm not quite a falling leaf, but I'm falling well behind his plane here, his path. So I need to unload my aircraft and regain energy, because if I had kept lead pursuit at this time, I certainly would have been just falling like a rock. What was my airspeed? So airspeed at this time. So I pulled lead pursuit. I fired. I missed. And I'm getting slow. And I don't know where his friend is. 200 indicated. So I pull a lag pursuit and just kind of keep the fight, keep managing the fight, keep in control of the fight. I'm still behind him, regaining some of that airspeed. I regained, almost 100 knots of airspeed, not quite. And just seeing what he's doing, keep regaining airspeed. He's not climbing, so I'm going to pull up, keep pulling behind him, keep pulling, and here's another guns attempt. So notice I'm just doing lag pursuit, keeping eye of the fight, and boom, there, just watching this line. That's where my gun cross is. There's lead, and going for a shot, and I got him. So I kept in control of the fight, even though I was well behind him. I stopped pulling lead pursuit once my chance to shoot had passed. Then I went to a lag pursuit, stayed in control of the fight, went back up at him for the guns kill. I knew he was slow. He had just climbed, and I had regained all of this energy down below. And he's in the level turn and the climbing turn, still trying to turn not as hard as he can or anything, but still using up all this energy. So I knew, all right, he's slow. I know I can shoot him here. And I think I also used this turn. To see where the hell his buddy was. And I was looking up at him, and I saw, oh, well, there he is out in front. So, all right, I know he's not a threat at this time. So I know I can go ahead and keep doing lead pursuit. I know I can go for the kill, because he's turning, and he's not going to be able to pull a shot on me from way up where he was. So, and boom goes the dynamite. And at this point, of course, I rolled. I lose a bit of SA. Notice how much, just look how much pulling lead pursuit for a guns kill, how much airspeed I lose. I'm standing in on his tail. This is the path marker, and look at my angle of attack. This tail is continuing out in this direction. My angle of attack is ridiculous. I'm insanely slow. So what do? I push. I unload the aircraft. Unloading meaning get the angle of attack down. Unloading the angle of attack is going to you'll be able to increase your airspeed a lot quicker. So unload, get airspeed, get situational awareness again, and I don't see his buddy. He gets a lock on me, and I think is this where I died? So he started sniping me like crazy, and I couldn't find him. And then, I think at this point maybe I had to change Discord channels on someone. So I alt-tabbed to try to change someone's Discord channel, and I had tracers going past my nose. And put an angle of attack on the... Oh. Nice. Thanks, Squinks. Now, where's that? Oh. Okay, so that's G's. Where is this being showed at? So anyway, trying to change Discord channels here. All of a sudden, I noticed tracers coming over the top of my aircraft, and so obviously I need to jink and keep him from firing on me. He's pretty far back, and he's trying to snipe me. But of course, I was flat. I was not doing anything. I was not maneuvering. So yeah, why not to go for the shot? So now in order to get him off my 6, I'm doing everything. I know he's probably got a lot of airspeed trying to catch up to me, and I'm just going to keep jinking. I'm going to go into the vertical. I notice he's pulling lag pursuit, so I'm going to go ahead and keep trying to jink to get him to overshoot, because if he's flying a lag pursuit, he's going to have a lot more energy than me. So keep jinking, keep turning hard. Either he's choosing not to keep with me on the turn, or he can't. So because of that decision, I'm just going to keep the turn up and keep looking on my 6, keep looking where he's at. And I think I may have lost him again, or I was changing someone's Discord channel again. So yeah, so he fired at me again, and I was a little too late to jink, but since he was missing, in order to get his gun cross off of me, you just roll either left or right and pull hard. I mean, roll more than 30 degrees to to screw up his shot. So obviously I jinked a little bit late, but he didn't hit me. So pulling down, I'm gaining a bit of energy back, of course. He's coming down with me. Now I'm going to try to get him to overshoot. So I expended some energy there in that turn. He did not. He went more into a lag pursuit. And I'm just going to continue to spend energy to get him to underrun or overrun or whichever. So boom, now I'm behind his 3-9 line. So he didn't use up energy to keep with me in that turn. So I was using up all the energy here. He kept it. And of course, now suddenly the tables are turned. And I was controlling, you got to control the fight with your throttle. So if you're behind him, you don't need to go full burner all the time. You can just keep hands on the throttle and just keep controlling the fight. So regaining a bunch of energy here, but he's expending it because he's climbing now. So I got to be careful on how much energy I get. So because I had gained enough energy, I decided to go up for him. And he has way more thrust than I do, so he was able to get a lot of separation there. So he gained a lot of thrust, a lot of distance in that vertical, just with how much more thrust he has. I mean, look at him go, rocket ship. So, and then he continued around the turn, and I had to close some distance because I didn't have as much energy as him. So I closed the distance by pulling more of a pure pursuit and still lag pursuing a bit of it. And I don't remember if I went in for a guns kill on this one. I think, yeah. So I would have had a shot on him there. And if you'll see in the video replay, I went pretty much bang, 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 got a shot, he's dead. And then I wanted to showcase a bit of jinking maneuvers. So he's behind me, he's pulling lead. I'm gonna go ahead and jink. I need to keep jinking. Oh God, he's behind me still. I'm gonna continue to jink, keep using up his energy. Got some separation there. So I'm gonna jink hard back towards him to get him to underrun. And this is a dangerous moment here. If he kept turning harder, he could have got a snapshot on me. So I saw that, so that's why, and I was slow. So that's why I split S'd kind of a little bit. I jinked left and to try to get him to not be able to have a shot on me. So just kind of utilizing a bit of the high alpha of the Hornet. I tried to keep controlling the fight from behind him and got him. All right, let's change to someone else here. All righty, Moldy and Tyrant. Fight's on. Is there an airspeed readout anywhere? Oh yeah, right here. Duh. Jesus Christ. So, fight's on. Tyrant's pulling. Moldy's choosing to go low. Regain some of that energy. Another head-on pass. Probably could have killed each other there. someone maybe had called it, but let's see where this goes here. Moldy. Yeah, it looks like Moldy stayed pretty slow on the airspeed coming through this dive. Tyrant looks like he maybe had a lot more airspeed. So Moldy's around, you know, looking at his angle of attack. He's, of course, somewhat slow. Tyrant coming through his dive obviously keeps the airspeed up. And because Moldy is so slow, notice that he's able to kind of turn inside if they weren't dead here at this point. Tyrant has a lot more energy. Moldy does not. So he's kind of able to keep the pointability of the Hornet and just stay behind Tyrant's 3 and 9 line. But I think maybe Moldy could have recovered some airspeed here, because I think he's certainly too slow, 150 knots. So he's too slow. He doesn't have the control of the fight necessarily that Tyrant has, because Tyrant has way more energy. So Moldy is essentially keeping slow, staying slow. There he chooses to regain some energy. Probably when Tyrant was coming around more for a potential shot, Moldy recognized that, decided to go low to keep Tyrant from getting a shot. Ooh, but Tyrant stood it on his tail a little bit, looks like. And comes around. Oh, and Moldy might get a reversal here. Yes. So Tyrant's got so much more energy, Moldy's able to kind of use it to his advantage. And stands it on his tail again. So Tyrant's choosing to keep way more energy into the fight. And one thing to do is, you know, if Moldy's on Tyrant 6 and Tyrant is thinking, all right, I'm not necessarily in control of this fight here. I recognize that he's using up all his energy and he's standing that plane on his tail. What can Tyrant do? He can escape. He can dive. Obviously, we don't have missiles here. This is a pure guns fight. But if there were missiles, Tyrant's going to have to keep turning to make sure that he doesn't stay, or that he stays out of Moldy's weapon engagement zone. So, one thing Tyrant could have done here, because Moldy is 150 knots, Tyrant, he's already in a dive. He could have unloaded his aircraft and dove away and gained a lot of airspeed quicker than Moldy. And Moldy if Tyrant had done that, Moldy could recognize it potentially a little too late, and then Tyrant could ascend and then kind of get back in control of the fight in some way. Or he could have unloaded, kept a left turn, but unloading, get more airspeed, and then climb. And it's going to be a lot hard. It's going to be pretty hard for Moldy to do that. So Moldy is trying to do more of a pure pursuit, staying very slow as we spiral down towards the ground here. Moldy's not able to maybe... If Moldy had... it might have been hard for Moldy to tell that Tyrant was going to dive. So once Moldy recognized Tyrant was going to dive, then that's when Moldy rolled his aircraft over. Gaining some airspeed back. Good. Just quite the tangle here. So Tyrant's doing a good job of not loading up extreme amounts of alpha on his Hornet. We had a lot of bags on. Maybe Moldy dropped his. I don't know. He's getting pretty slow a lot. But he's doing an okay job at staying on Tyrant's tail. But because he's so loaded up and doesn't have any energy, he doesn't have any more energy to give to pull lead to get a shot. So I think they must have called knock it off at this point and got back up to altitude to try again. So, all right, let's look at someone else's first engagement. I mean, that all happens so fast. I mean, doesn't take long. Okay, who's next? I think it was, let's look at Squinkies here. Where's Squinkies? Why is Squinkies not in here? Oh, because he's a red pilot. Okay, so. Alright, they see each other. Fight's on. They both do a climbing turn. Fletcher pulls harder. Gets Squinkies on the nose. They do another head-on pass. Very dangerous. You know, if we were going for the kill, this could have been a moment where they both could have died. Very close pass. So let's see where it goes from here. I totally just spit on my screen somehow. Okay, so Fletcher, just looking at his icon, he's got a lot of angle of attack here. And he's got a lot of angle of attack. He's not unloading the aircraft in order to regain some of that airspeed. So Squinkies has got a lot of airspeed. It's 400 knots, so he's got good turn capability. Fletcher is unloading his aircraft because he got so much alpha that looks like Fletcher doesn't have him. Squinkies comes in. He's in control of the fight. He's on the 3-9 line. He could be going... Yeah, okay, so Fletcher... Yeah, Squinkies has got a lot more airspeed. He's closing fast. This is probably a gun skill. Wow, look at the closure rate. Fletcher, and just a quick pointer to Fletcher. When you're trying to recover from all of that energy lost, maybe go into a diving turn in either directions. A diving turn will help you regain some of that energy and also able to get your head out of the cockpit looking towards your 6 easier to see potentially where he's at. And I know you're kind of turning a little bit there, but it wasn't enough degrees per minute to be able to see where he is. So if you're in a diving turn, you can regain a lot of that airspeed, and not pulling too hard, but pulling enough to where you can see a contrasted an aircraft contrasting against the sky or ground as you move through the turn. So Squinkies has just got so much closure rate, probably a gun skill there. So yep. So that's right. Squinkies on his first go, he forgot that he didn't realize that master armor was on, so he actually shot poor Fletcher down, I think. So they come in at it again. Squinkies is going to be a little bit lighter than Fletcher, but they see each other. Squinkies could be slow. Fletcher in that turn could have lost some airspeed, so they're probably pretty close on airspeed. Boom, fights on. Let's see what happens. So yeah, looks like Squinkies has got a lot more airspeed. Squinkies has got a lot more airspeed because we can see that he goes much farther in his dive. Oh, partially because Fletcher stands the aircraft on his tail again. Look at how much angle of attack Fletcher's got. So Fletcher's really loading up the aircraft. And because he loaded it up and Squinkies had just continued his dive, Fletcher looks like he may have unloaded his aircraft and got some energy back. And because he got some of the... Looks like Squinkies might have recognized, okay, he might overshoot. He might overshoot. His aircraft is continuing beneath his plane or my plane. And so it looks like that's where Squinkies decided to maybe see if he could pull in behind him and load up his aircraft. But Fletcher recognized this, looks like, unloaded his, and was able to keep in control of the fight for the most part. Squinkies doing a good job continuing to jink a lot, and looks like they called fights off. Good job, Fletcher, for controlling your angle of attack well enough to not get too loaded up. Good job there. Continue and go back up. Let's watch another. So they go out and come back in, and fights on. So looks like Fletcher decides to go into the vertical. Squinkies dives, so they're going to have another head-on pass eventually here because of all of that separation they're getting. Fletcher's going to be using up all his energy. Well, I mean, doing a micro loop over the top at very high altitude there. Squinkies, I think they're still in the con, so Fletcher regaining some of that energy. Maybe going for a heads-on shot here, looks like. So Squinkies has got way more energy than Fletcher, so Fletcher's able to interesting profile there. Almost a... I love the ribbons. That's pretty cool. So Fletcher shoots behind him. Squinkies tries to go for a reversal in a really tight turn, trying to keep Fletcher from pulling another potential shot. So good job, Squinkies, on making sure you're staying out of Fletcher's gun sight, or gun. What do you call that? The trunk, the gun trunk, the gun path that has the range and the. What is that called? So Fletcher looks like Squinkies may have been slightly out of control, potentially. The funnel, thanks, Fletcher, and Zelly. Oh, you guys all hit it. The funnel. Fletcher's doing a good job at... I mean, the Hornet is really forgiving, of course, with its fly-by-wire controls. If we were to choose a different aircraft to do this in, we wouldn't be able to... if you would have had so much alpha loaded up, you would have been in a spin, or you lost control completely. So maybe next time, maybe next time in the F... we should all... those of us that have the F5, that would be a little bit more entertaining, or... yeah, the MiG-28. That would be a little bit more maybe beneficial to learn to keep your energy and not pulling just as hard as you can to load up the aircraft. Maybe we should do F5s next time or something. But just as far as learning the F-18, of course, this is really good still. So yeah, Fletcher recognize. Yeah, Squinks is going to be having a lot more airspeed, so Fletcher is going to just stand it on his tail again to stay behind him, because Fletcher just came out of having so much airspeed. Fletcher's doing a great job at controlling the throttle, not overshooting. Oh, he overshot there. Interesting. Let's see what happened. Oh, Squinkies. Ooh. Oh, Squinkies. Looks like Squinkies did the old... I mean, you got to do it, though. You have to. You're trying to stay alive. So he noticed Fletcher is starting to pull pure pursuit and maybe into lead pursuit. So Squinkies is getting lower on the airspeed, but certainly getting to the point where he can just load it up and have Fletcher... he might have been able to have a guns kill. Looks like Fletcher is able to have the nose on him. So it could have been a guns kill there because Squinkies was so slow. It won't take much for Fletcher to actually maneuver the gun cross to get a kill. So did they call it? Yes, it looks like they called it. So great job, Squinkies, in the attempt to get Fletcher off your tail. But in the end, it looks like you were maybe too far away. So if we were to maybe take this loop here and extend it more down here, and Fletcher was maybe... if you were to try standing your aircraft on its tail at more of this point, when Fletcher was up here, you probably would have had more of a chance to have Fletcher overshoot. So just recognizing that was going to take a lot of practice, of course, and but if you were to stand the aircraft on its tail here, as Fletcher was well outside of you, then Fletcher certainly would have overshot, and Squinkies would have been able to just roll right in as he did, and Fletcher would have been more out here. But since you did it a little too far away, this is the kind of classic case of just loading up your aircraft to try to pull the brakes, and he'll fly right by. But he did that just a little too far away. So Fletcher was able to because you just got so slow there. Wow, 100 knots at the slowest, maybe 105 or so, 110. Pretty slow, so Fletcher's able to just damn near put the gun cross right on you because you're so slow. So let me catch up on the chat here real quick. Yeah, I was going to say pirouette, but he did it just a little too far away. The Tomcat model. That's something that I will definitely do in the future if I get permission, is to show some Tacview of some F-14. That would be really cool. Because that F-14 is... I can kill Hornets. It's really interesting. Oh, this one! Yeah, that's just a die cast, I think, or something. Yes, I thought you were talking about a certain other F-14 model. Alrighty, so good kill for Fletcher. And like the video that we watched earlier, you're trying to use every mistake to your every mistake of your opponent to your advantage. So let's see who else there is. We got Moldy, or we got Marbles and Frank. So, all right, let's see what happened here. Let's go back to the first engagement. All right, they spawned, and I think they were trying to figure out their radios maybe at this point. Are they still in here? Marbles and Frank, were you guys trying to figure out your radios for the first few engagements?
For the first half of the first engagement. You'll see us flying level for a few minutes here. But we get it figured out pretty quick.
Okay.
We did what you said and went over to the other channel.
Okay. So they break apart here, they get on comms, and then they come back and it's fights on again. So Marbles has got 600 knots of airspeed, and am I reading this correctly? They're only at 57-ish hundred feet? Or is that 29? No, that's the pressure setting. Yeah, it must be. Yeah, they're they're fairly low. So they entered the fight. Marbles has got 630. He's almost going Mach 1. So I don't. Just looking at the closure rate, it looks like Frank might not be going that fast. So here we go. Fights on. So Frank breaks right. Marbles is cranking around. He's staying at. He's keeping his airspeed in, and so much airspeed. So Frank may have lost Marbles at this point, or maybe pulled too hard that Frank kind of lost control a little bit and had to unload his aircraft. Marbles is keeping his airspeed up. So Marbles is keeping his energy. Just looking, I mean, if Frank had acquired, it would have been a real tough shot for Frank to make. He would have had to pull a far lead pursuit shot in order to hit Marbles, because Marbles is just screaming by. So Frank is having some energy problems, and just looking at how much separation Marbles is almost going Mach. He's going really fast. Frank is able to keep inside of that fairly easily, and just use the high alpha of the DDoS the server. So Marbles is keeping a lot of airspeed here. Frank recovering some airspeed, just because Marbles has so much airspeed, is able to just rocket away here. Frank is having to kind of pull more of a pure pursuit, lag pursuit, but is not able to stay with the climb. So you can see, just pulling even a pure pursuit, he's able to kind of still somewhat stay within, the plane or the fight zone here, and as Marbles, Marbles looks like he started cranking really hard around here because Frank's keeping his airspeed somewhat low, keeping the Hornet somewhat loaded. So if Marbles is wanting to kill, yeah, he could swing out if he wants to. If Frank's going to keep staying slow, Marbles could swing out.
Hey, did I make it?
Yeah, we're watching my stream right now, watching Tacview. So stream is in the Twitch channel.
Yeah.
Had to think for a second who that was. So, Marbles, he could swing out, far if Frank stayed slow and loaded up and swung back in and maybe just got a snapshot as he passed by and doing the whole boom and zoom technique he was doing earlier. But because Frank is just full aft stick, trying to crank around as they descend like crazy, Marbles probably experienced how much can he pull? How much? Wow, just look at this spiraling death ball here. They both are just pulling extreme amounts of alpha. Yeah, I think a workshop in the future with the F5 is going to be auto-modded, huh? Let me just allow that. There you go. So Frank unloads his aircraft here. Hey, all right, sport, welcome. So Frank unloads his aircraft here. I'm not sure if he maybe lost sight of Marbles or if they decided to just fights off or knock it off. But Frank unloaded his aircraft, maybe lost sight of Marbles, and Marbles was able to swing in and bang, 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 bang. So, they continued. I thought that would have been a pretty good lead pursuit kill there. Pretty classic show there. So as oh wow, interesting. So Frank did a kind of reversal turn here, and Marbles, controlling the throttle, was able to stay on his 6, even though he had more energy. So Frank just stood it on its tail. Interesting. Yeah, that's a fights off there. That's a kill. So Frank's just loading it up. Marbles swung wide, came back in. Pulling lag pursuit, pure pursuit. Poland lead pursuit there for the kill. Fights off. Let's do another one. Okay, looks like fights on here again. Who else is, are we missing anyone? We did Moldy, we did Tyrant. Okay, we'll watch one more here and then go back to Moldy and Tyrant. So here's fights on. They both do a left turn, so we're going to have a head-on pass. Very dangerous. If this were real world, you guys would be shooting at each other right here, probably, most likely. And it's very dangerous. Okay, so let's see what happened. So here's interesting. So Marbles was right at the cross. Marbles was at about 475. Where was Frank? And Frank is at 425. So even though Marbles is climbing, he's got more energy at this time. So let's see what happens to the trails then. So Marbles, his turn is wider, slightly, by Frank. And Frank, because he's slightly slower, maybe more closer to corner speed, and also maintaining the energy, essentially because he's in a dive, he's able to pull inside of Marbles there. And he had enough time to reverse. So just because Marbles came up, yeah, he was at higher speed at the start, at the intercept, because he was maybe losing speed more quickly, and well, he's maybe keeping speed in, probably, is because his turn was wider. Maybe Frank pulled a little bit more at the onset and was able to kind of keep inside. Frank was able to kind of, just looking at that turn here, was Tyrant's able to reverse. Let's see where it goes from here. So good job on Frank at recognizing where Marbles is going. Marbles decides, all right, I'm going to go into the dive. And Frank keeps pulling and then reverses. And notice that he doesn't try to keep, well, he might have pulled a little too early. But he did a good job. He didn't load the aircraft up completely. Notice how you have that unload. He's loaded up right now. He's loaded up. He's loaded up. He's loaded up. Boom, unload. Just a snap. Boom. Just a quick unload, which is good at so he's unloading the aircraft to try to get some of that energy back because Marbles has just gained a shitload of energy, which let's see how much. He's at 450 knots. So Frank comes down, and here we go. Here's what Frank was probably talking about with all the jinx Marbles was doing. So Frank is behind Marbles. Marbles is going damn near Mach 1, so Frank is keeping with him. Trying to pull control plane. What? I didn't know that. That's fucking awesome. Thank you very much. So Frank, he's pulling just looking at where his nose is, he's pulling a pure pursuit, keeping the gun cross right on him. That's a pure pursuit. Getting some closure with pure pursuit. A lag pursuit would have been, Frank's trail would have been more out here with a lag pursuit. So he's pulling pure pursuit just ever so slightly, getting closer, getting closer, getting closer. And Marbles decides to pull a jink in reverse, which forces Frank to reverse as well, of course. Oh, that must have been a gun skill. Oh, must have been a gun skill. Or they just decided to reset. Okay, so fight's on again. Oh yeah, let's go to the movie. All right, what's going on here? So it looks like they didn't. Fights on there. They're probably trying to find each other. Oh, they're probably doing. Oh no, one's on my 6. So let's see what they did. So, Tyrant pulling a lead pursuit there to. Probably thinking, well, they might, if there's a real situation, all right, I'm going to pull lead pursuit because he's not reacting. He's just in the turn. So Moldy sees him. Oh, fuck. I got to do something. So I'm going to jink, force Tyrant to pull lead. So Tyrant was pulling lead fairly far there, which may have caused him to overshoot here. Let's see what Moldy does. The Tyrant's got a lot of airspeed. Yeah, Tyrant's continuing to gain airspeed. Moldy is only going 275 knots. So Moldy's able to control the fight because he recognized Tyrant's really coming in hard and fast. So Tyrant overshot. He could have maybe been able to pull lead, but and get a snapshot. But it was such a quick opportunity. So he's just screaming by. So Moldy is able to now start gaining some airspeed again as he got his reversal, and now he's pulling pure, going into a lag. It's a good decision to go into a lag pursuit there, because if you noticed, if he would have kept pulling pure pursuit here, then his kind of what was demonstrated in the video that we watched, if he were to continue pulling lead pursuit, his trail, his flight path would have just been continuing, and Tyrant and he would have lost a lot of airspeed and gotten really slow, and so good decision to go into more of a lag pursuit. I mean, because he was going so fast, he may have been pulling as hard as he could. So Tyrant jinking, trying to get a reversal. Must have called fights off or so. But Moldy, oh wow, Moldy's going really fast. Tyrant must be going as fast. And because they're going so fast, Moldy probably couldn't pull a lead pursuit to get a gun skill. And Tyrant must have popped the brakes because he's slow. I mean, he went from 800 or 750 knots to suddenly 650 knots really quickly, which was probably a good decision because Moldy was probably pulling as hard as he can, and he's not able to get the gun cross ahead of Tyrant.
Pulled him in.
So. What's that?
So I slowed down to pull him in.
Yeah. And so yeah, slowed way down. Moldy overshoots. Good job there. Because Tyrant is so slow, Moldy did the right thing because he had all his energy, is to just get altitude. Because you have so much energy, you're keeping control of your energy. Just take it back on up. Good job, Moldy. You made the right decision in keeping your energy and getting separation because you recognized, I'm going to overshoot, so I'm going to use Tyrant's energy against him and just get separation and recommit. Good decision. But what I would have done most likely is
Look at that old football boy.
Instead of reversing, which you did here, instead of reversing, because you know Tyrant can't keep with you in a turn because he's so slow, I would have kept the climb in and keep the right turn in and spiral up, because Tyrant, in order for him to regain his energy, he's going to have to stop his turn, or at least lessen his turn, full burner, and try to climb up and get you. But so unfortunately, because you recommitted to try to turn back down in on him, Tyrant was able to get back in control and keep in control of the fight. So just a quick example of Moldy could have maintained control of the fight by using his 500 knots to just get as much altitude as possible and keeping the right turn in. He could have been turning outside of Tyrant, but Tyrant, he wouldn't have had the shot anyway because he's so low, so slow, that you could have just kept spiraling up, kept gaining separation, and then dove down on him at a later time. But so as we see here, chose to turn back in, and Tyrant was able to regain his energy there as he rolled, regaining his energy and getting to cornering speed, pulling lag pursuit, and then pulling for more pure pursuit. But well, looks like Moldy was still able to keep his energy up. So even though he did a reversal turn that I didn't necessarily agree with, he still kept his energy up. So good job, Moldy. Kept his energy up and was able to continue to get separation. So notice Moldy gets super far away, rolls out. He's 250 knots, but Tyrant is also 250 knots, so there's all this airspeed being used up by Tyrant. He's still in the climb. Moldy's leveled out and keeping speed, unless they're just getting back up to. No, they're still continuing the fight. So not quite sure. Did Moldy maybe lose control here? I don't know. Dove down, getting some build up of airspeed. Tyrant's still maintaining control of the fight, staying behind his 3-9 line. Ooh, what do we have here? So let's see what happens. So Tyrant's getting a lot of airspeed back. Moldy is slower than Tyrant, so perhaps Moldy kept turns in, kept jinking, which is good, and Tyrant, looks like Moldy just got loaded up right at the right times to keep Tyrant, just keep doing reversal turns, and Tyrant was able to got Tyrant to essentially overshoot. So Tyrant had maybe Maybe Tyrant wasn't necessarily keeping good throttle control, and Moldy was able to use his energy against him. So Tyrant is still gaining energy at this time, when really, at this point, when you see Moldy cranking around and loading up the aircraft, Tyrant essentially needs to be not worried about pulling lead pursuit for a shot, but needs to worry about staying in control of the fight, staying behind Moldy's 3-9 line. So at this point right here, boards need to come out. Alpha needs to get loaded up on the jet as best as you can, because you're in that 350 zone. You can start loading up the aircraft pretty well to slow down. So yeah, Tyrant unloaded here, which caused the airspeed to really start climbing. So if Tyrant were to just stand the thing on its tail, get the boards out, potentially he could have stayed behind Moldy's 3-9 line. But since Tyrant kept the power in, Moldy did not. Moldy kept loading up the turn and was able to reverse. For Moldy here, I would have made sure to keep rolling right. Keep rolling right around your original right turn. So just keep the right turn in, keep the pull in, and then just keep the right turn in to be able to pull and keep that trail coming around towards Tyrant. But it might not have made any difference because Tyrant looks like he was gaining some altitude there anyway. So kept outside the turn. Tyrant is getting slow. Moldy's gaining some energy back again. Scissors, classic scissors going here, essentially. Scissors kind of coming down from the vertical. Moldy's got a lot of energy, so obviously you can see the trail. Moldy overshoots, so Tyrant does a good job at rotating around Moldy's flight path, because that's going to keep you out of his gun cross. Oh wow, Moldy, what happened here? So this is probably a kill. So Tyrant, Moldy's standing in on his tail. Tyrant's going for the kill here. He's doing a lead pursuit. He's getting the gun cross where it needs to be. I'd call that a kill. Maybe they did too. And that's why Moldy is falling out of the sky here. Nope, they kept going. I would have called that a kill, to be honest. This is just Operation Confusion here by Tyrant, just doing rolls, keeping Moldy not knowing where he needs to put the gun sight. Long fight. Oh, someone fired some guns. All right. Let's see. This is one of the final fights of Fletcher and... Whoops. Oh, why not? One of the final fights of Squinkies and Fletcher, so let's see what happened. So here we go, fights on. Squinkies is losing a fair amount of airspeed, so is Fletcher. They're rotating right on around. Fletcher reverses. Another head-on pass. Dangerous. Squinkies, looks like Fletcher maybe wasn't necessarily able to pull the gun cross on him, but they both reverse. Fletcher has more of a reaction. Squinkies loads up the aircraft and they both start going down at high angles of attack. Very easy to take the fight to the ground. a good example of Squinky's doing a reverse to use Fletcher's energy against him. But I would have kept... I think he rolled out too soon, of course. There you go. Had to maybe reacquire where he was. But still was able to stay behind the 3-9 line. Wow. Fletcher went up like a rocket ship. Squinkies must have lost him. Alright, so here's the final fight for them, I think. Squinky's getting back a lot of energy. Fletcher stands the thing on his tail. Good job, Fletcher. On not gaining too much energy as Squinkies was diving as well. Another rolling scissors here. Some very slow speed stuff going on here that probably only the Hornet would be able to do. Alright, let's see. Back to... Alright, here we go. Marbles and Frank. Here's the head-on pass. Both turning right. Frank maybe losing sight a little bit and deciding to turn, which probably would have been a perfect shot opportunity, but it looks like maybe Marbles didn't react quick enough to recognize that potentially. So Marbles is overshooting like crazy here, so this is why, yeah, so he chose to pull up and just rotate around to not pass over Frank and make sure to try to stay behind his 3-9 line. So Frank maybe didn't necessarily have the ability to pull up because his Frank is already, yeah, Frank is already at just 170-ish knots, 175 knots, so Frank is not going to have the ability to snap up anymore and pull up towards him, so Frank's going to have to regain some energy there. But Marbles is staying pretty slow. They're both pretty slow. That's, I'd probably say that's a pretty close snapshot there for Marbles. Really slow stuff going on here. Alright, so another fight's on. So they both break in opposite directions again. Reacquire another head-on pass. Dangerous. They both do opposite turns again. Another head-on pass. At this point. Alrighty, Fixie. Later. So Marbles decides, alright, I'm going to stay slow as Frank regains energy, because Marbles gained a bunch of energy here and then had to just dump it all off to stay behind him. Good job at staying behind his 3-9 line. Very slow speed stuff going on here. Cool. All right. Well, my brain's about fried, and I've talked myself to death. So we're going to go ahead and call it. And, yeah. So that was the conclusion of our BFM workshop. And I'll try to cut this down a little bit better. Maybe I'll have 2 highlights. I'll have maybe a highlight of the actual flying portion and then a highlight of the Tacview portion, so it's not so ridiculously long because it's going to be 2.5 hours. So, alrighty. Thanks for coming, everyone. Thanks for watching. And I'm going to go ahead and conclude the streaming bit here. But if you guys have questions or anything about BFM stuff, hit us up in the Discord. Come fly with us on Thursdays. We do public flights Thursdays. Join the Discord below and become part of the action. So, alrighty, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.